Jesus, American, multiplied the loaves and fishes to feed the thousand of people. Dito makikita nyo sa aming dinadaanan ang lawak nito, pero walang nakatayong bahay kasi this place is owned by the Catholic, kaya na-preserve ito. Walang mga bahay na natatayo, kaya ang ganda.
Mang ala yun na namijay. Asaan na yung?
May nakita kaming Madre dito na alam niya
Ay, wow.
ang salita ni Jesus. Wow, diba?
Hello, sister. Hello, sister. Ay,
He speaks the language of Christ. Chain of God.
oh.
Chain of God means welcome. This is the Tagalog one.
Oh, Father, tingin ka dito. Sige, kan. Dalawa kayo ni Father. Sige. Yan.
Heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and forcefully say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way you persecuted the prophets who were before you. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Okay, so this was a reading from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 1 to verse 12. And Jesus over here gave the Sermon on the Mount. And of course, a lot of people say, well, how would everybody would be hearing him on the mountain? Jesus might have been on a boat, yeah, speaking and giving the sermon while people were sitting on the mount. So if you are talking over here to the mountains, there will be echo. Yeah? If you are shouting, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. So there will be an echo over here if everybody is listening. Yeah? And of course, the Pope came over here, Paul VI, in 1964, gave a sermon over here as well. John Paul II, you remember this Pope, yeah? Everybody actually remembers John Paul II. He did a lot of good work. He also came over here in the year 2000. And he blessed this church with his prayer stole that is over here at the entrance to the church. Once you go in, the main door, just look behind you and you will see the stole of Pope John Paul II and the stole of Pope Paul VI that both came over here to the Mount of Death. The church over here was also designed by the architect Barluzzi, the same one that designed the Church of the Transfiguration on Mount Tabor. This architect is really amazing because
he keeps designing, or he kept designing churches according to the event of the Bible. Like you remember Mount Tabor, the Transfiguration, Jesus in the middle, Moses to the right, Elijah to the left. Okay, he designed it accordingly because Peter said, "Lord, let's build 3 tents, one for you, 3 altars, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah." And this is what the architect did. Antonio Barluzzi, he designed the church accordingly to what was mentioned in the Bible. This one as well was designed accordingly to what was mentioned in the Bible. It is an octagonal shaped structure church because of the 8 Beatitudes that Father just read from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 5, verse 1 to 12. All the marble over here was brought from Italy. It is the only church in the Holy Land with an altar in the center. Every other church in the Holy Land, the altar is at the back. Yeah? The east side, usually at the east, because the sun rises from the east. But this one is at the center, and you see the Beatitudes that are written above us around the dome, the octagonal shaped structure in Latin. So a beautiful church called the Church of Beatitudes, using the basalt, local rock, stone, volcanic stone that was found over here. It is local to this area. It's called basalt. The church over here is a Catholic church, and of course there's the monastery over here. They also used to have a small hotel. We have a small hotel, a small diner over here. We used to bring groups to eat at St. Peter's station. Sister Colomba that I just introduced you to, she's my friend. She's from Iraq. She speaks the language of Christ, which is Aramaic.
Aramaic.
The day-to-day language of Jesus was Aramaic. Okay, let's take 10 minutes to visit the church. Shall we meet at the parking lot for 15 minutes? 15 minutes we meet down at the parking lot. Group picture, yeah, group picture. She speaks the language of Jesus. God bless you. Specifically, we are in a place called Tabqa.
Ay, tabka.
Tabgha, Tabqa.
Tabka.
Or in Greek language, this place is called Heptapegon. Heptapegon means 7 springs. The 7 springs. There are 7 springs that drain all the way from the mountains to the Sea of Galilee, and this is why they call this place Heptapegon, or the 7 springs. But this is not why we are coming over here. You know how the name changes from Heptapegon? They shorten the name to Tabqa. The place over here is so special because a lot of people gathered to listen to Jesus' teaching, and the disciples came over here, and it became very late and people wanted to have lunch. They were hungry and they wanted to have lunch. And what happened over here is that there was not enough food to feed the people. Where are they going to get food from? Tiberias is about 1 hour walk this way, about 20 minutes drive that way. We'll go to Tiberias afterwards. And if they want to go and buy dinner or lunch for these people, they have to spend a lot of money buying lunch. What will they do? So Jesus asked them, what do you have? What food do you have? There was a small boy that his mom probably gave him 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread to follow Jesus for a few days. Yeah? And he said, well, we have these 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Okay? And Jesus said, okay, no, don't worry. He sat them down and he blessed the food, he blessed the fish, and he fed the multitudes. He fed 5,000 men. 5,000 men 2,000 years ago means 5,000 head of family. Man, his wife, 2 kids, average. We say 20,000 people minimum were fed from 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Okay? Over here in Tabqa, there is another miracle that is also mentioned in the book of Mark. This one was mentioned in Mark chapter 6. There's another one in Mark chapter 8, which is another miracle feeding the 4,000 in a place called Dalmenuta. Also over in this area, because where the trees are, where the trees finish, down there is the Sea of Galilee. Okay? The church over here is a Benedictine
Church.
There are Benedictine sisters from the Philippines that manage this church over here. It has beautiful mosaics that are currently under renovation. And the exact place and location where Jesus blessed the food, yeah, and did the multiplication is under the altar. There's always a candle that is always lit, and there's the rock where it was identified by the Byzantines as the location where Jesus multiplied the fish and the loaves. This is a church where we can go in and pray and ask God to multiply the blessings in our lives. Over here, before we go, they discovered an olive press, an ancient olive press over here. So this is how the way that they used to do it. They used to, a very strong animal would probably come.
Tas lang ang pagdapilan.
This will be standing outside with a wooden beam, and the animal will go round and round, crushing the olives. When the picking season is over here, they put them over here so that we can get a type of a paste. It doesn't become olive oil immediately, it becomes paste. We get the paste and we put it in the other container. And usually we put it in layers on layers of baskets. Layers of baskets, yeah? One above each other, and then exactly, press again from the top. Press again from the top, it will drip, and the olive oil will go down, and you will collect extra virgin olive oil, like the one that we saw in the shop that we went. There is also a modern press. I have olives in my garden. I have a few trees, maybe 5 trees in the garden, and every year I collect them and I put them in bags, big one, maybe like I produce about 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. And then we have all the miracles that happened over here, the events from the Bible. Mark chapter 1, calling of the disciples, Sermon of the Mount, healing of the hemorrhagia, the bleeding lady, the lady with the blood issue, okay, healing of the leper, Matthew 8, multiplication, Jesus walking on water, Mark 6, preaching and healing, woes and those cities. Woe you Capernaum, woe you Chorazin, woe you Bethsaida. The 3 Jewish towns that existed over here on the shores of the Sea of Galilee, they were woed, because even though Jesus came over here and they saw the miracles, but still they did not believe in Jesus.
Yes.
And the consequence of this, these towns were destroyed by 2 very strong earthquakes, and they were never built up again. Okay, all other cities in the Holy Land were destroyed and built up, but these ones, Capernaum, Chorazin, and Bethsaida, were never built up. Meeting with Peter and his companions after the resurrection, John 21, the place that we visited this morning, Peter's primacy. Okay, last appearance of Jesus in the Galilee, Matthew 25. Oh, so beautiful.